Hi there, let's look at worded problems. Today I'm going to diagnose for you all the operations and the common words that we use. Let's look at addition. Now we often see the sum of and the total of, and in these cases we mean to add them together. So let's have a look at an example. The sum of 5 and 3 would mean 5 plus 3. The total of -2 and x would mean -2 plus x. So whenever you see the word total, you know that you're going to use plus. Sometimes you might also see something plus something or increase by, such as a number is increased by 2. Let's call the number x. In this case, we would have x plus 2. Increased by 2 means plus 2. We also mean addition when we use the words gain or raise or more. Jenny's pocket money P is raised by $5. That would mean P plus 5. Jason gained 8 kilograms from working out. That would mean J plus 8. Joseph scored 2% more than his previous test. If J is the percent he got last time, then this time it would be J plus 2. Subtraction. This one is the tricky one. Sometimes we use the word difference between. The difference between 10 and 2 would mean 10 minus 2. Sometimes we use the word minus or decrease by. 10 is decreased by a number. When we say that, does it mean 10 minus x or does it mean x minus 10? This is where a lot of students might get confused. The trick is to remember that the word after decrease means minus that. So decrease by a number. Let's say the number is x, so it's minus x. That would mean 10 minus x. This is a very common misconception, so revise this one. What about a number is decreased by 5? So is it 5 minus x or x minus 5 this time? So remember, whatever is after the word decrease is minus that. So decrease by 5 means minus 5. So it's x minus 5. Other words that we use are subtract, loss, less, fewer, and take away, such as cafe stored $5,200 worth of ingredients. When the power outage turned the fridge off, they suffered a loss of $700. So a loss of $700 would mean minus 700. So we would write it as 5,200 minus 700. The trick to subtraction is always to write loss of less than, always writing minus and then the number that follows that sentence after the minus. Next, multiplication. This one's not too bad. So multiply, the product of, and times. Probably the product of is something that we don't see often. So let's do an example. The product of 10 and a number a. That means 10 times a. But with algebra, we never write the times, we just write them next to each other. Sometimes we multiply when we find the percent of or the fraction of. So when we see the word of means multiply. For example, 25% of 100 means 25% times the 100. We also have to multiply when we see double, twice, and triple. Such as triple number would mean 3 times that number. Last operation is division, and just like subtraction, we have to be careful with order. A common way to say division is divide something by something, but sometimes we use the word quotient of or divided by. For example, divide 100 by -2 means 100 divided by -2. A tricky word you might not know is per. For example, it took Jenny half an hour to get to school and she lives 2 kilometers away. What is the average speed in kilometers per hour? So whenever we see per, we're going to divide. So kilometers per hour. So it's 2 kilometers per, so divide, hour. She traveled for half an hour. So it's 2 kilometers divided by half an hour. Let's switch to examples where we use more than one of these operations, such as 2/3 of the sum of C and 10. Let's break it up. The word 2/3 of means multiply. So it's 2/3 times something. Then we have the sum of C and 10. So C plus 10. So when you multiply this with that, we have to make sure to use brackets. One last example. Subtract 10 from the product of 2 and a. So subtract 10 from means something minus 10. And then the product of 2 and a means 2 times a. So that's it, 2a minus 10. So the trick here is to read the question and put the numbers in the right order. That's it from me today. Thank you for watching. See you next time.